control him. You'd be able to put him in your bullpen. This is kind of like Ottavino a few years ago when he moved about. I mean, excellent bridge. Can close if necessary. It's not a safe situation, but you're up 5 runs, and Joe Kelly can get the final 3 outs. I mean, he's as good as anybody in baseball. So I think this is a lot of these are moving some payroll from one side of your docket to the other side, and while trying to get some prospects in return. Like I said the other day, for those Braves guys, those were lower level prospects. Yes, you might have had bonus money in a couple of those, but when you see all the injuries that these teams are getting right now with top prospects, you're probably first looking for lower level manageable pitching, and then a diamond in the rough kind of guy that, okay, the guy's hitting 200 in Double-A. We talk to our hitting people, and we feel we can work with this person and what they had when they got drafted 2-3 years ago. So that's a lot of what it is organizational thinking they can change careers. I'll give you an example. Dave Duncan, the should-be Hall of Fame pitching coach, formerly with the Oakland A's and the St. Louis Cardinals. This guy's a former big league catcher. He was huge on turning careers around and getting guys that used to have so much talent that had fallen on hard times. A lot of it was probably confidence. He was able to rebuild confidence in a lot of pitchers that were down on their luck. And that's what a lot of these organizations, they'll have gurus that say, no, I want to work with this guy. And they're like, okay, well, we'll trade for him.
There's a couple of guys, starting pitchers-wise, now that you just brought up pitchers, and those are going to be hot commodities, especially for your contenders, your true contenders. And one guy that might fit the mold that you were just talking about, left the Yankees, now a Cardinal, decent year, but he's on that Cardinals team. And, man, that's a shopping spree. That's going to be a fire sale here in a week. Jordan Montgomery, what do you think about this big monster? Can he come back to – well, he wasn't really at like an all-star form at all, but – definitely a guy that can win you some ball games when you throw him out there in the lineup.
Well, first of all, Monty is a guy that was injured, and then he's coming off injury. And when you're coming off an injury, right now he's leading the team in ERA and strikeouts. So he's having a better year than Wainwright, the Hall of Famer. Right. And he's a guy that he is a movable piece. At 6-8 with a 3 ERA, it's the same thing that I was just talking about with the lefty Blake Snell with the San Diego Padres. This guy's got a 2-something earned run average. He's, 7 and 8? And you're thinking, holy crap, I don't know if you trade Blake Snell, but he's still got a lot of money left on his contract. It's the same thing with Jordan Montgomery. We don't want to trade this guy, but because his upside right now, his stock is high, we could probably get a couple of minor league guys as we try to retool our minor leagues. And everybody's always trying to rebuild. Even if they have a great minor league system, you're always trying to get a couple of guys for a third or fourth or fifth starter in your rotation. And so for Jordan Montgomery, definitely he would be a great piece. 20 starts, 11 of them he's gone past the 6th inning. Quality starts, meaning, I definitely think that guy could be on the trading block.
Here's one that is perfect for whoever wants a starting pitcher in a 3-game series. True contenders only apply. 29-year-old, just looking at his contract, brought it up in Spotrac. He's on his last year of his deals, making $10 million this year. White Sox, Lucas Giolito.
Lucas has had arm injuries. Lucas is not having a good year. I've watched a lot of his starts. He's a short armer. He short arms the crap out of the ball after he had that elbow Tommy John issue.
Wow, so buyer beware on this.
I would beware of this guy.
I only want him for 2 months.
So rental, fine. I'd rather go after Lance Lynn. I know Lance probably has a couple more years on his deal.
Pitching tonight, by the way.
I would rather have the big beefy guy. Yeah, Lucas to me is a wild card. I love the dude, but he's had arm issues, and certainly this is not his year. And even this Kopech dude, if you could steal him from the White Sox, 4.4 ERA, 4.9 on the season, I think this guy hasn't even learned how to pitch yet.
He didn't look good last night.
No, he didn't. But the guy's arm is, your rating system's 20 to 80. He's got 75 to 80 arm. He's one of the top arm guys in the major leagues. If I were a pitching coach and I had my choice of him, I would take him.
Here's
my Giolito.
My other guy in the category of only serious people apply, and that's another pitcher. He's pitching against Lynn tonight. It's Marcus Stroman. for the Cubs. I think that this guy is the piece. I say this every year when it comes to NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA. This last transaction that puts the team over the top. In this sport, in this league, it's a pitcher. It's a starting pitcher. I believe Marcus Stroman is that guy for whoever wants to go out there and get him.
Here's the thing. What did he go to, Duke? I think he's a very cerebral cat. I think that he's a fierce competitor. I mean, he's a lion. And I need more lions in my clubhouse. I think the Yankees would love to have this guy. If you threw this guy, let's say if you had Jordan Montgomery back or even Cortez when he comes back, so you could line up Garrett Cole, Cortez, and then throw Marcus Stroman in there in the third game in a playoff situation. I would love to have him because I only need 6. I've got a very good bullpen with the Yankees. We're going to win a lot of games that way. And I think that's what you're thinking. You're thinking postseason, number one. And you've got a lot of guys. Man, I just watched the Yankees game last night. Both teams, man. Both teams just look like they're going through the motions. I don't
think they look at the scoreboard to know what the game is.
That was a great comment by you because there was no sense of urgency when the Yankees got down 6-0.
Right.
The Mets, their top 2 players drove in 8 of the 9 runs. So the rest of the guys, some really lousy at bats. Really lousy at bats. So I just, when I'm watching, I go, that guy's a professional hitter. That guy, like when I talk about J.D. Martinez or Arenado, like at bat, that guy is. Who I love watching is. I don't know if you've seen him